It's finally time to review the Voyager from ZSA. If you haven't already watched the first video that I've made, the unboxing video I made about the Voyager, I do recommend you go and check it out because it's a pretty cool keyboard. It's an ergonomic split slim profile keyboard that I have been using exclusively for the last month. I've had it for about 4 weeks and I've been using it. So in this video, I'll talk about what I make of this keyboard. It's my review of a keyboard that I've spent £300 on and some things that maybe you should consider knowing before you go and spend that much money. Let's do it. Right, let me get one thing out the way about this product. It is the best product that ZSA have made to date, right? Whether it goes from the packaging, the box is fantastic, small, the case, the Velcro, much improved from the Moonlanders version, or the little leather insert between the two sides, a nice little touch not everyone notices, but it, small details that really make a difference. And then when you come to the keyboard itself, there's a metal backing, and the metal backing just makes the keyboard heavier, heftier, more rigid, which means less likely to break, and it just feels good, right? If you compare that, let's take an analogy, for example, iPhones. Plastic iPhones to metal iPhones, or aluminum iPhones to now titanium iPhones, they just feel heftier is sometimes more luxurious or feels better in your hand, and that is exactly what I make of this particular keyboard. Even though it's got a slim profile, and it's in every slim profile in any direction, because of this metal backing here, it's got a heft to it, and I think it makes this product really good. Now, the key differentiator between this keyboard and a lot of the others that are out there is how easy it is for you to transport. And this product is, again, very easy for you to put in your bag. I've been taking it to work almost every day, and, it fits in. It's not an extra added weight that I can feel, so that's great. One thing I will say is that the keyboard comes with 3 USB-C cables of different varying lengths and 1 TRRS cable to connect the 2 split keyboards. What I would have liked is if they'd given me 2 USB-C cables of varying lengths or the same length and 2 TRRS cables because, well, transportability, right? It would have been great for me to have a USB-C and a TRRS cable left in my house and one in the office. So that's one less thing for me to carry, one less thing to think about. It would have been great. Not saying that it's not easy to carry, by the way, it is. With the TRS cable and a USB-C cable, it is easy to pack and take away. But instead of giving 3 varying lengths of USB-C, everyone's got USB-C cables now, but not everyone has TRS cables just lying around. So one of those would have probably been better than 3 USB-C to C cables. Let's talk about ergonomics, the reason you're here and the reason I'm using this keyboard. Let's get the customizations out the way with regards to ergonomics. You get 3 different choices of switches here. It's not as vast as the other keyboards they have, mainly because these are half switches and there are just not many options out there. So they've given you 3. You can decide to go with them. Different actuation pressure. By that, what I mean is that some of them might be easier to type with and less effort versus others where you actually need to go hard at it. Obviously, I've gone with the clickier version as well because I want to annoy everyone around me. So that's the customizations around that. Sure, there's black and white, but that's got nothing to do with ergonomic. How does it feel to type on? Well, remember this is a split keyboard. So if you've used a split keyboard before, like I have, you still need to practice because the layout's different, the number of keys are different. So the first thing I did as soon as I got this keyboard is I went on the internet and I went to typingtest.com and I started to learn to type again with the split keyboard. And yes, I do recommend you do this even if you have a split keyboard or if you're new to this world, because it's just going to improve your life and how quickly you can type on it, because let's be frank, you can't just start using this from day one at work, because your words per minute will be non-existent. So, okay, it took me about 4 or 5 days of practice, solid practice, to get back to my usual level of words per minute. So I've used the plank prior to this, and before that I have used Moonlander, but I was around 65 words per minute with the plank, and it took me about 3, 4, 5 days to get back to that level with the split keyboard and type like this. So that's something to keep in mind. Yes, it's more ergonomic because of the layout and the ortholinear nature of this keyboard, where nothing is flat. It's easier for your hands and fingers to reach. It will take time for you to get used to it. The other cool thing, because of this metal backing, is that they have magnetic tents. And what that does is basically tent the keyboard. Makes it more ergonomic. Why? Because your hands don't just lie like this when you're typing. Naturally, your hands lie at an angle. So there's a slight angle which you can add just by adding those magnets in there. And then the keyboard will lie like this, making it easier for you to type on, or more ergonomic to type on. Now, there are people who use these angles and there are people who don't. There are people who use inverted angles as well. So that's one thing I will say, is you can only have a natural incline with this. You can't have an inverted version because the tent, or at least the tenting magnetic class, doesn't work on the other side. There isn't anything there. Something to keep in mind if you're one of those people that types like this. Anyway, the magnets, very good, very cool, nice feature, I like it. The other cool thing is the layout of the keys. There are 2 extra keys that your thumb can reach, and I think that's the perfect number of switches that you want. You don't want 3 or 4 or more. 2 is enough. I have enough options and customizations there which just make it easier for me to get to those, and they aren't very far reaching. So ergonomically they're very good and in good position. Now, one thing I will say is, you know, some people, when they get keyboards like this, with the first layout that it comes with, just don't find it comfortable. And that's why keyboards like this make it easy for you to customize it to your liking, right? I got the default software on this. I flashed my own using, thank you ZSA for providing a really easy, fun and interactive way for you to try and move the keys around. I'm on my 30th iteration of my initial keyboard layout. That's something that I thought I would like. I have changed 30 times in the last 4 weeks, and I will probably continue to change it over time because I'll find something different that will make my life more easier to use. Well, at least make my keyboard usage easier. That's what I'm looking for. So iteration is key. You've got to try something out, practice with it, and then eventually you'll get there. But they help you get there because the software is easy for you to change it to your liking. So I've said a lot of good things, right? Like ergonomically, very good things about this keyboard. I really like it. There's one thing, however, that I'm not a big fan of, which is that compared to the other keyboards that they've previously made, there is no palm rest provided with this keyboard. Now, you might say that, hey, it's a very slim profile keyboard, you don't really need a palm rest. Sure, it's possible. Hey, also, you might be someone who has a standing desk, so they can actually adjust the height of the desk and the chair to get it at the perfect angle. Great, well done. But it's not always possible to have that, especially for a keyboard that is a transportable keyboard, something that you can take and carry with you. You might not always be in a perfect location with a perfect table and a perfect chair. So what I feel it's missing are rest pads for your palms. And so if you have this keyboard, or if you're thinking of buying this keyboard, I'm sorry I don't have an affiliate link for you down below, but what I do have for you is an affiliate link for a palm rest. This palm rest from Glorious is actually for your mouse. So it's a mini version, but it fits perfectly with half of this keyboard, and the height of it is also pretty perfect. It matches the height of this slim profile keyboard, and it makes it easier for me to type on this keyboard. Right, I've tried using no wrist pads, palm palm rest pads, but I just find it a little bit difficult at times. So I've added these to my setup, and they've changed my life. It's increased my words per minute by at least a solid 2.5, and the ergonomics as well. So yeah, that's the one thing that I want to say that I'm not quite happy with, and something I would have liked that they had an option for. Maybe there will be an option in the future for a slim palm rest that they provide for an extortionate amount of money, having spent £300 on it already. But yes, that's something that you want to keep in mind when you're thinking about buying this keyboard, because compared to others that they make, this one doesn't have one. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the Voyager. Probably the best keyboard that ZSA have made. Build quality is fantastic. Sure, there are some things that I would change potentially for me, but as a keyboard, it's a great transportable keyboard that I'm going to continue to use, at least for the foreseeable future. If you have any questions or anything that you think I've missed out, then please leave a comment down below, because I'd love to answer those. And I'll be making some review content around this versus the Moonlander as well. So yeah, give it a thumbs up if you want to see a comparison between the Moonlander, Ergonomics, and the Voyager. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.